just want to hear about your journey. You know, a lot of folks want to know what it takes to get to that level. And everybody who has a gold medal has a crazy story for the most part. I mean, what it takes to get to that point. So we just want to hear about, you know, whatever.
Okay, so, well, I started running when I was 5 years old. So I come from a family of track athletes. My mom was a track athlete as well. She ran the flat 4 and the 2, and she was pretty good. She stopped running, I think, before her prime. I think she was in her early 20s when she decided to give it up. But she did travel to Europe and run, and she did the circuit. Some of the meets that I went to, she went to.
Right.
Yes, in the blood. So she was an athlete as well. My older sister was actually running track first. She's 6 years older than me. We were in the neighborhood. A guy who had a youth track club seen her and was like, come out to my track team. My mom took her out there. Before then, she did not think about putting us in sports, especially she was good. And I don't see why she wouldn't have, but it wasn't a thought of hers. So following behind my older sister, I wanted to run track naturally. So, and I tell people that it was something that I had in me that I just automatically knew I was fast, period. I thought I was always the fastest child, boy or girl. I would ask anybody if they wanted to race, super competitive, even at the age of 5. And just never wanted to lose. And I had to kind of grow out of being a sore loser. I was a sore loser throughout my career professionally as well, but I knew, you know, I was just more mature. But as a kid, it was bad, you know, losing, you know. And so it started there. I used to compete against 7-year-olds because at that time they didn't have a division where 5-year-olds could compete in LA. So I would run against 7-year-olds and I wouldn't win, you know, but I would get 3rd, 4th. You talking about they're 2 years older than me. And so I thought I was a sprinter at first, and I would be really good in my region, but when I would go outside of my region, I would get beat. So my mom would move me up until I stopped losing. All right, let's try the 4. So I can go to pretty much all of California and not get beaten in the 4, except for Monique Henderson. I would never beat her. When we were kids, she was really good. So she ran 50, 15 years old, and I think I ran about 60. Yeah. So she was really good. So I moved up to the 800, and that's where I never lost. So I ran the 800. Yeah, I was an 800 runner because I had the speed and I had the endurance and strength, you know, and I trained ridiculously hard. That's another thing I tell parents. I'm like, it's nothing that you can do if your child doesn't want it themselves. Like they have to want to win. They have to want to work. You can't, even if they have talent. I know a lot of talented people that were just as talented as I was, but they didn't work as hard. Yeah. And that was just it. But so yeah, I ran the 800 meters from about 10 years old to 14. I won the Junior Olympics every year. In that time frame, I broke the junior record. I ran 2:13 at the age of 12. Wow. Something like that. And but believe it or not, some girl broke my record.
I believe that. Yeah.
It's like these kids are good.
Hey, records, they're meant to be broken.
Yeah, that's sad, but you know, that one was there for quite a while. So I was like, okay. But so anyway, at track practice, I was out there and we had like a hurdle coach who was actually the boys coach, and a lot of kids were just trying hurdles. I might have been around 10 or 11, just trying them. He had them on the grass and just telling us to jump over. And for me, just emulating what I seen at track meets and on TV, I was just a natural hurdler and 3-stepping and everything. So they didn't have an event for me at that age, but I did become familiar with at least jumping over them. And it wasn't until I think 7th or 8th grade where I started, you know, hurdling. And then once I went to high school, I completely stopped the 800 and started hurdling completely. So my hurdle coach was he was an Olympian actually in high school. Earl McCullough.
Wow.
Yeah, Earl McCullough. He was a 110 Olympian. 110 hurdler. So that was my coach in high school, and he was really good, really helpful, just a technician. I loved being under him, and I never went back to the 800 since then.
Yeah, that's really
history.